It seems like past words entered like past words into my mindset. It turned my mindset into a mindset. Now my mind and mind cannot compute, I'm insecure. But now I'm standing here giving myself recognition. I'm gonna leave it to all of you to give this poem high definition because it's untitled. Mirror on the wall. I'm disgusted by my still image. Disgusted I adjusted the cornerstones of what I perpetuated a self-great image. Thinking, is that me? That's not what I want to be. Until I look no further. But then my eyes panned the dark scrimmage. I side-eyed the self-image that was ducking and diving to trust me on full flexion. I refused to stand parallel. Because all I witnessed is a pair of L's and a pair of eyes. I was paralyzed, witnessing the same sorrow but paralyzed. Listen, I said eyes, L's, paralyzed. I was ill from what I was used to seeing. I always saw myself less of a human being. But I guess it's how you lose your self-respect. When you can no longer self-inspect this mind and body temple, this vessel that you're supposed to protect. But as I reflect, I couldn't fathom it. I couldn't fathom it, I guess that's why I'm on a matrix mindset. Because I was triggered. I was triggered because I can no longer figure the figure image of me that was looking in discernment with the raised eyebrow. I was triggered because I can no longer figure the mirror of me is inspired by the mirror of D. Looking at myself and saying, which pill did I swallow? Because if I take the red pill, I'm feeling blue. If I take the blue pill, I'm thinking, what the hell is really true? Overdosing on advice, I'm thinking what the mind portrays. It's our mirror image what the mind's eye relays. I couldn't fathom it. It's like if our cortex looked into our inner cortex and looked at our forefathers before us and said, this is what the mind reflects. And because of my temperament, it caused my inner temple meant that my self-portrait seemed like it was full of portraits that came from poor fate, like a bad NFT art in the Tate Museum. Jeez. Or Mona Lisa rolling her eyes quicker than the girl from The Exorcist, like she's only insecure of herself. But this is where the message gets relevant though. I love being black, no doubt about that. I gotta appreciate the surface of my habitat. And I gotta appreciate my melanin. When it's still past this world, I still believe that I'm bred in sin, and I give a toast to that fact. Sometimes I feel like only the sun appreciates the African habitat. In 22, I'm still trying to figure out why the world still scores the Afro-Black. But listen, let me hold your mind for a minute. I just said bread to the new theme. I said bread, toast, sunlight. I wanted to spread love in the message of the whole scheme. And I also said bread and sin. But one day I hope I can stand in glory in the presence of my reflected essence to say the black of the berry is its own medicine. And to its own relevance, I hope the better version of me, myself, and I is its own state of prevalence. But right now, I stand in the repercussions of what can only be described as the weakest cousin. Because I stared at the image of me that was roughened. But I still had a silently deep discussion with the potential in front of me that could be toughened, like iron sharpens iron. Or maybe the mirror sharpens you. Because it allows you to build yourself up and chisel your features like it was carpentry. So tell me who's the sharpest thing. When they say iron sharpens iron, maybe it's not about being in the presence of others. I want you to say in the mirror next time, now you see me, this is us. I'm standing in front of the mirror's edge. And the other day was cinema day. So for you to be that Top Gun, you need to be that maverick that gives the mirror a pledge. But the problem is, there's too much noise in this world. There's too much advice and noise in this world. When there's too many opposites and requisites as well as positives and benefits. But what if we have the positive requisite stand an opposite that will benefit? Me or you. Now that's a benefit. Now as long as you believe in that, you won't focus on a lie but a true reflection. We're all made in the image of God. That's a true projection. I've only got one body in this lifetime, I need to keep a temple, that's a real connection. But if I don't build myself up and shows all my features, then... But everything I've said is a matter of preservation. I've been suffering for so many years, I've been present hating. But I know the best version of me is in the pipelines. It's like a present waiting. But if I don't build myself up and chisel my features, it's like I'm preserved waiting. But I know that every mirror out there has helped you reflect yourself, inspect yourself, and check yourself. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. There's no debating. Thank you.